Test, test. We're all here. Let's go. Alright, we're going to do a replay review of AZB's gameplay. Sent me the replay, so I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have this run on faster until we get to specific situations. You can see it's pretty standard. Start here. We'll try to catch a tab whenever we can. Looks like the left side team, the Protoss team, has stronger characters. It looks like we have a little bit of action going on here. I'll see if I can change the teams at all. I don't think I can. We'll pop this down. Is there any way to view only? Probably not. It's lost production. Resource is actually nice, but it's too big, so we'll close it for now. Alright, so let me recenter the camera here. We've got Zoro taking his camp, and then the other team is attacking Zoro. We're going to switch back to full vision, and actually that helps quite a bit. So we can see that the red team went for pretty much getting this camp, and then while Zoro is already at 2 camps and getting all the way through his second one, All Day is on this one, and then Kane is here, so technically this is already a win for the Zerg team. They're going to be ahead on tempo, and I suppose if we check the resources, let's see if we can see what is bought here. Alright, so Zoro TP top, he's popped a potion, and it looks like he's going to hit this wave here. Red team, not much going on here. Descend. And so here, this is pretty much early game. We're trying to get as much money as possible. So you can see Zoro grabs the wave. He's going to run straight up. He's going to want to run all the way down this jungle and get as much of the camps as possible. While Shadow, it looks like he's messing around mid. He hasn't taken 3 of these camps. So he's only taken 2 camps so far. And he's now running back. So if I look at the money difference, 635 for Zoro, and BJ's also at 620. So he's down a little bit, but you can tell the experience is going to be different here. So we have Zoro running in for the wave here. Not sure if he's trying to just camp out. It looks like he's using the info from the vision, which is quite interesting. He's got vision on BJ here, so I'm not sure what we're doing. Okay, so we get a quick heal, and then they're stealing this camp. We're running around. This doesn't make any sense at all. We're just going to go level 3. Both of them are playing quite poorly. There's still all these camps up here that could have been taken, so it seems like a big waste of time. Alright, Hydra gonna run out. Huntress is actually quite fast on these maps, so with even 1 or 2 speed items, you can actually get away from most people. Which means she can technically control when she goes, but she doesn't. Looks like we have a bit of a scuffle mid. Unix is usually going to be just stronger in the mid lane. It's got some interesting items there. We'll see what he builds out of that. Zora's finally taking his topside camps, but everything is respawned. And he does not have his knife, so not only is he poor, but he's also slow. It's usually a sign of a jungler who's got a lot of quality to gain from faster clears. Alright, and here we have quite a bit of messing around. Looks like we're waiting on that wave over here. Mid's pushed. So you got 3 people top here, but it's probably not going to do much. We have a skirmish. Usually don't want to fight Kane this early since it's always going to be stronger. And he's going for the Psionic Lasher. It's okay as a fill-in item. Not really the best overall since Darwin's is usually going to be the biggest power spike. And we're going to see a little bit of a scuffle here. The buffs are coming in way too late. Need to put those buffs in or signal the back end. Looks like we have just free damage taken here on the top lane. Not really making that much sense. Zoro finally found the camps and started farming. And we have some fighting bottom. Looks like he's going to clean up a free kill. Not much sense here. We have what looks to be a pick up in the jungle, and we've got a 6-second stun ult. I'm sure they'll be able to get that kill. Right, kind of an odd stun by the Huntress there, but he was completely cooked regardless. It's pretty good play. At this stage, and it would be very difficult to actually play anything topside without vision, since you can pretty much just gang like that repeatedly. It looks like this Sanctum was never captured by anyone, which proves to you that this is a very high level lobby. Now we've got Kane putting down some damage. Good pickup on the buff there, but he's probably going to pay for it. It looks like Squid fell asleep. I forgot that Kane was low. Alright, we got Pocahontas. I don't know if he's just here to farm the wave. We've got Huntress coming from the back. He realized that Kane was low. He does get it. Good pickup all day. Kind of lost. He doesn't know where he is either. Zoro farming a camp instead of taking the wave. It's pretty much a classic move there. So we've got two people with enough health under the tower here, but it looks like we're cooking for a vibe. And are they going to go for a dive? Probably not. It doesn't look like they know what they're doing. Grunty with some as-4 looking build. Doesn't know where he is. Medic has got all the vision he needs, but we haven't captured the Sanctum. And then Huntress, it looks like a... I don't know what's going on here. Alright, we've got Anthrax running in, looking for all day BJ. He misses the stun, and then gets vortexed into the Huntress, who now runs. Probably should have fully run. Looks like he can't commit. He just gets the kill. Medic walking in, it's like he's pretty safe. I don't think Squid will go down quite yet. Here's the Huntress gets another free kill. Grunty hitting on the tank here while the Kane is walking away. It looks like a complete mess. Squid might want to catch a heal there, but it looks like he's just walking out for free. Mid side we have Zoro once again. This time he actually did find the wave in between these camps. Note that all the minerals are up on the map. I guess nobody wants them. Alright, and we've got another bit of grouping here. It looks like Squid has been executed. He was probably taking the local route. And it looks like Residente also just ran into 3 people by himself. So got some high quality stuff going on so far. Alright, we've got Kane looking playing mid. Is he gonna recall? Is he gonna stay for another wave? We'll find out. Zoro's fine. He's way to the camp, but has not found the crystals yet. Looks like we'll have to help him out with maybe a map or something. Kane waiting for that next wave. It looks like was not ready for a reset. And we're probably gonna see no top TP, so the top wave is completely open. And we're TPing mid. It looks like we're trying to make a play on this Huntress, but we're waiting until Kane is at 2 HP. It looks like we got him right in front of the turret. Great bait by the Brian to let his Kane tank under the turret there. Another one of those top pro moves. And the Anthrax is back to wave clear. Shadow is still solo playing here while the Borzun is doing the same. At this stage in the game, you would ideally want to match the Shadow and just push that wave back and then take those camps, but it looks like he's going to get it for free. And I can't even select this ward. It's fine. Okay, we have Squid in the jungle here. It looks like he's messing around, using a couple spells, but really he wants to just defend this tower here. Same thing with All Day here. We're taking a camp. The wave's open. We don't want to miss too much of that, but it looks like he might find the crystal. We found the crystal, but we're cooking it, so we're gonna make sure we get a little bit more gold. It's not like anybody's gonna come get it anyway. There's only what 80 times 5. I mean, that's barely 400 minerals. Up. It's time. Secures about 350 minerals for each team. It's white if it's neutral. Alright, we've got some big info coming in from Raza, and it looks like we have a skirmish here. Zora's hitting the Qs, but I don't know what kill he's thinking of securing here. This camp is still up. That's where you want to be. And it looks like we're going to recapture the Sanctum. Alright, Brian solo farming this lane. We've got 2 in the middle. Kane is rotating top. I don't know if he's looking for a fight. He should be looking for those waves. He's still sitting on 2 items, no reset, and it looks like he's got quite a bit of money, but Zoro looking for the Huntress. He gets some Vortex again. Quite a good Vortex here. And Huntress has popped the haste. He's got 1,000 in the bank. He might be looking to get his item. We're sleeping. That is true. Everybody is sleeping. Grunty in the river with the lightning rod. It doesn't look like he's putting up traps either, so it's It's a not river grunt. So this is a land grunty. He's not aquatic. We have Zoro going in on the quid here. And it looks like they should be able to get this. They give up and leave it to the Anthrax. Questionable movement there. He might have made an escape. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe they trusted the Anthrax, but that looked dodgy. Got Grunty running up the river with the Hurdy. Could have gone for a boss take, but it looks like he's just going to go for a wave take here. Quite the use of resources. And we've got another run around here. This crystal has dodged everybody. And BJ taking the TP in front of the respawning camps without taking the Sanctum. Well, the Sanctum's already taken, I assume. I assume these are red Sanctums. Well, we can check, actually. Nope. Those are blue Sanctums. Alright, Volan goes down. Looks like he tried to fight too many people at once. Huntress seems to be... at least know his way around the character. And we've got quite a lot of vision for this blue team. Alright, we have another fight here. We're going to cloak out of it, and we're going back in. The items look quite weak for the Shadow here, but he still has better items than Lorison, and he's actually going to clean it up. Completely degenerate fight by the Lorison here, trying to fight with no mana and some of the worst item spikes you could have. Got a regen here by Pocahontas. I don't know who he's looking for in here. We know that the Huntress is up here from the wave, but it doesn't look like we're going for it. So we just popped Holt and Mendy to sit in the river. So it looks like he's taking on Grunty's role as the aquatic one. DJ's still popping some farm here. We have 3k. It looks like he's about to get another pick up for items. And we have Residente looking like he's going to eat some rockets. What's going to come out? About half the health here. We can see that Kane has still not bought any more damage since the start of the game. Pocahontas taking a little bit of damage. Do we have an observer? I'm not sure. We have another little skirmish here. Volan doesn't do damage. He's more of a CC slash slow bot, and he is doing quite decent work. He's going to tank it under possibly the worst ult you could have ever made on Unix. Really great use of the character there. And Zoro drops the question marks, as I do. I don't know what's going on. Do we have a dial? It doesn't appear that we're using dial. Maybe it's not showing it. I assume he's just not using it properly. Alright, so the entire Protoss team has been completely wiped from playing like scrubs. And it seems like the Huntress is the only one who knows where he is, but he did find himself right in front of the impact dial. And the Zerg team has found that the impact dials can be used on the active, and they picked the Huntress. I believe this is the observer from Brian. Alright, and we're looking for a Ludikill, and we have idiots on the team. These are both correct. And so it seems like the red team needs a miracle to happen here, since BJ and Hunter seem to be the only one with a functioning brain. The rest of the team has already been lost, and we don't know where we're going. So BJ's going to go back and try to get his wave. It looks like he's getting... This looks like it could be Shinobi and Time Splitter at the same time. I don't know exactly what the setting is for getting them in disorder, but maybe he's trying to make some savings here and getting some cash back later on. We've got some minerals back here as well. Nobody needs those at the moment. And another skirmish here. We're not popping the cloak. We're popping the cloak late here. Since we don't have Shinobi, we're not very fast. So this is going to be a tough escape, and it looks like they're onto us. We're going to try to run down, spend a little more time here, and we get picked off by Pocahontas. Zoro gets another 400. This is not a good look. He's also got his completed item, so it's always going to be stronger for a while. And since we did not build our Shinobi and we went towards the right in the brine, we're not really doing that well right now. Alright, we've got another Residente play here. He's going to get squashed. He doesn't know where he's going. His entire team is here. We have several wards in the middle lane, but I don't see any mines from the Grunty. It looks like he doesn't have money for that. Maybe he doesn't have the ability to level that. Did he level? We don't have mines, and we don't have ult. This is a blast Grunty. He's only got the shotgun and the rockets. You can call him the Punisher. Alright, we got Zoro level 13 with you know, 1.5 items, we decided we can finally take the boss. Nobody's worded this. Nobody's aware. Doesn't look like anybody knows what's going on. We get an ult here. All Day is going to check it because he thinks something's up. And he's going to actually find Zoro with full HP. And he's just going to have to run out of that pit. It looks like the team's caught on. And we're still doing a little bit of skirmishing here. We're trying to hit the boss. We're hitting the medic. This is really bad. We got our Shadow going in first. Zoro's going to go down. Squid is in the middle. And we have a big Unix ult here on a running target. Huntress has shown that he also wants to get the boss. His ultimate could steal it after all. It looks like we're just hitting the boss here, and Squid is going to get the boss. Really high level stuff here. We have a Kane in the back line just still looking for 4 players by himself. It looks like he's found a Huntress. And they found him too. Alright, absolute. Yep, what the fuck about highlights the quality of that play. Residente is going to pick up the heart. God knows he needs it. Alright, and we're just hitting, we're relaxing. We're about to hit this mid turret here. We found our entire team, and it looks like we have a big TP in the mid lane. Are we going to follow up? We don't have money for rockets, and we're just going to have to let that big Brian go. Quite an interesting TP in the mid there. I would probably TP to another lane to try to maybe pick some minerals up or go for a Sanctum, but it looks like both of the bottom carries have decided to TP to this lane instead of splitting the farm. Big waves coming up here. It doesn't look like there's anybody to claim them yet, so those might end up at the tower. We have the whole entire Zerp team going to Aeon, and it looks like we're just forcing Aeon here. Will the other team wake up? It looks like they're waking up, but it's going to be late. They're going to get that 400 gold. They're going to pick up the gem, and we have Shadow in the pit ulting. Will AZB make an escape? No, it looks like he's caught. He's not going to make it, but Zoro does walk out free. The right play from Squid. Maybe could have tried to run out a little bit earlier, but making sure that Zoro does secure the kill is correct after all. So we'll give him that death. Looks like the blue team has woken up, and they're grouping in the mid. They might be grouping a little bit too dysfunctionally, though. We have Kane getting caught again. He's going to dial. He doesn't have the heal. And he's going to walk out with his life. That seems like the red team could have caught him there, but we'll call that a nice try. And we're going to look at these items real quick. It looks like we need a 4 haul on the medic. And Unix is building full damage here. He is the only mage on this team, so that does check out, but the build order is quite odd. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe we'll get an explanation later. And Squid has bought another component, so that 4 hole is going to have to wait another hour. We've got the dial now. Maybe it could have been better to get a Silver Soul. Zoro's slain Mjort. I don't know what he was doing up here. Maybe trying to do a 2v1. Usually don't want to be that far up without a word, but it does happen. We have All Day getting full caught with these pents down here. He's going to try to cloak out. He's gone for the Xenomorph rush, probably due to having a problem with Zoro's build. The passive there, just getting cleaved by the Xenomorph, so he believed that that was a priority item. We'll let him believe that. And Huntress is looking for some money here. Will All Day take it? No, he doesn't need it yet. We're gonna cook that. Residente found his tower. He's defending. He's catching the waves. Big work. We'll see if Shadow ends up maybe looking at this wave and tower, but it looks like he doesn't have time for that, so he's gonna grab this jungle here. And maybe we'll see him. Oh, he is gonna find the minerals. Secure his team a little bit of money, and we're going back on this camp. Maybe he'll find this wave at some point and get some extra money there. Alright, so 4 red on the top side, and Brian does spot them. Looks like both teams are looking for action. I'm going to pull the medic first. He's rooted under the tower. He's not focused yet. Now he is. And all hands on. Pretty good kill. Didn't really need to use the gem, but they tried. We've got Zoro farming another jungle camp here while he's mid-wave is pretty open. We'll see if he can maybe figure out how to tempo that out. Bottom turret's exposed. Could have gemmed now. Not a big wave. You know, could have been good defense, but seems like that was skipped over. And we do have a TP here to defend from Kane, although I don't know if he's that strong. A level 15 Shadow should be able to dispose of him. We're going to see what happens. Okay, good patience by Alday. He dashes in, but he doesn't have the damage, and he's just gonna settle for the wave. Zoro here on the spot. AZB looks like he's in a bad spot here, but he does pick up his speed. Pocahontas on the escape. Zoro's still chasing, but full health here. AZB looks like the softest target, but he's out. And Huntress is gonna escape as well. So overall, nothing happened. Not a great result from the well, not really a great result from the Protoss team, as they had more members up there. And it looks like Zoro's found the shadow, but he's too tanky. And looking at Zoro's build, the reason for that is because he's got a muscle chaser, so not really a lot of damage piling up on those shurikens. And we're kind of lost now. We're gonna pop a really good E here to try to get out, but it's just not making much sense. And Zoro gets caught down. We have Keen looking for action here. I don't know what he's looking for. He should probably be defending that mid wave over here, since this one's not quite pushed yet. We've got two people top again. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they had to drop a couple wards up here, but the mid lane is completely exposed. We're still looking for the blue team. We have two of them here and two of them here, but the tower is just going to go down for free. Shadow taking some camps over here. Probably the best time to do so. This is good tempo. It looks like he still really needs that Shinobi. Hopefully he buys it next, otherwise this is going to look bad. Kane barely makes it out with his life. Good dial use. Could have used it a little bit earlier to avoid even taking the risk. We have the red team rotating bottom. There's not really a whole lot on the map here, so you ideally would want to push the closer towers. This bottom tower is much easier to defend than this one, so ideally you would want to just kind of TP up here, get this tower, and maybe move on to this one, which is a lot more exposed than the bottom tower, which has a very narrow pass through here. Alright, so we've got the whole team here farming one wave. This has not been spotted. There's no more wards in the mid. We do still have wards on the boss. And Shadow is pushing top again. Zoro is going to find his minerals. He's probably going to rotate here. I assume he'll take this camp first. And then bottom side, we have Kane running away with his dial again. He's actually doing quite a bit of distraction despite he's low level. Could easily be disposed with here if the red team played a little bit cleaner. Looks like we have some more damage items from the Unix, who still has way too many components. Same thing with Drenty. I don't know what's going on here. He still does not have River Racer. Way to make a character balanced again. Quid, no buffer in sight so far, no core hall. It looks like he's still looking for his way on the shop. We've got Huntress working on his Shinobi now, kind of a little bit late. You would think he would get it later, but usually first item seems like the right pick. Alright, and Grunty is still looking for his River Racer button. We'll see if he ends up finding it. We don't have a buffer or core hall on Medic. Kane's maybe gonna complete a first item at 40 minutes, and Zoro is looking for a Crux Rush here. Alright, we've got Mobile Holic going down for all day. All day looks like he's gonna pay for that with his life. Zoro full damage coming out. They do get the catch on Residente, who's not long for this world. And Quid is going to push back Zoro, and he's going to make an escape. Maybe not the best use of ult here, considering that there might be another fight. Huntress doesn't see the bear in the river. He's going to rotate straight top. That does seem like the correct move here if he doesn't want to continue pushing this. But it looks like they want to contest the boss. We're going to take this camp on the way there. It doesn't look like he's going to get caught, but this would be quite risky without wards just rotating into them. It looks like he does not care, though. We've got our Brian building maybe an electric mental here. He's got Parallax, so we're still looking for our defense items on the blue team. It looks like we did finally get a buffer from AZ at 35 minute mark. Quid is going to run in. He did not, or maybe did not have his ult. They're going to pick him up. Where are we going? The mid wave's not quite pushed, so the best place to go would be either to get top here or to rotate and push the whole mid wave together. That would still give you enough time for the Brian to maybe pick somebody here. And we're going to rotate straight to Aeon with the bear. This does seem like a good rotation. And it looks like he's probably going to leave the gem in there. Is he going to ping it? He is going to ping it. All day ponders on getting the gem, but then he just walks out. He did have the space for it, so could have been a steal there with these Shinobi active, but he doesn't do it. AZB goes in and picks up the gem a little bit later. Zoro's found Mjort, who's gone down. Looks like he wasn't up for it. And we have our no old Grunty here, still patrolling the river. Still unsure where he is. Alright, let's have a look at All Day here, who's finally completed the Shinobi in the 35-minute mark. We have a good ult from Anthrax, who's running it down. This tower is going to go down. Can we fight it? Let's see. We want to see a Nitro, a QW, and that should get the kill. A trade there. Anthrax should have been able to get this kill without dying. And Shadow should have been able to run, but they go for the trade. Money-wise, it's probably better for Anthrax overall, just because he's going to get the money, the experience, and Shadow's off the map. Zoro finds Squid again, just wandering by himself in the bottom lane with no carries. And it really does look like the red team has no chance of winning this, with BJ trading for the mid laner and then nobody else to match for Zoro. This Grunty build does look like it's not an asset for this team, so would want to see some better builds and definitely put some items up. You can see the mines are stacked on top of each other here, not the best use, but I don't know if it's the first time he uses them. Definitely would want to see more mines, drop an award. And Huntress just dies for free. Zoro is going to trade the kill. Probably worth it for the red team overall. But everybody else is dead. And we have 4 blue members on the team. It looks like we're going to start hitting this mid turret. We have an item and a half complete. And maybe a little bit of damage on this king. He's going to be able to take that mid turret. Desert Eagle goes down. He didn't know where he was. We have a Brine behind the Eunuchs, but they don't see each other yet. There is the Eunuchs showing. They're looking for AZB. He's going to get out of there. BJ's looking for it as well. He's chasing. He sees the clone. The big play by AZB to use the clone going in the other direction. We'll give him credit for it. And it looks like the Brine is back and ready to go. Kane walking into 3 people with the Brine. He's confident. And Zoro's going to get in there. Zoro's fighting with all his life, but he does not have CC immunity. Pocahontas, a little bit of ult here. It looks like the red team is going to get wiped again. Kind of makes sense. No defense items on them. The Anthrax has quite a bit of damage here, so respectable. Quid is going to face check into the Anthrax again and get caught out. Will he make it? It looks like he's going to make it safely over to the money. So definitely an outplay there. He does have his buffer ready, but he was not in that fight, or he did not heal anyone. Alright, Desert Eagle. We're working on the Shinobi now. This is going to be a big power spike. Straight into the fountain. Alright, item-wise, nothing new on here. We do have a Flash Hammer coming out of the cane. We might see a Darwin's here. Actually, good itemization. The problem is it's just too slow. And we have the Electric Mental from the Brine here, who decided he doesn't need Core Hall, probably because this team is just so weak. And Zoro is finished with the Crux. He did find his Parallax, and it looks like he's pretty happy with that. Kane looking for the side wave here. Nobody in the mid. We'll see if somebody wants to push that. Zoro is looking for a pick onto Desert Eagle, who's going to cloak out. And we'll see if he puts down a ward. Residente walking past. And they actually don't see each other anymore. Across here, Zoro is farming the camp in front of the entire enemy team. Anthrax gets rid of the Eunuchs. And it looks like we have 2 players left here from the blue team. And the red team is immediately on the comeback here. Not much damage left from the blue team. And BJ is full HP, which would lead me to believe that they can actually get a push here, but it looks like Kane is just solo pushing and getting value all by himself up here. So still a good trade for the blue team overall, even though Zoro is playing like a complete ass. Alright, we're gonna recall in front of the Shadow here. He does not use Vortex and lets us go. Okay, maybe he was smoking on his bong a little bit too hard. And we just have a little bit of messing around here. I really would want to see somebody just hitting that mid wave, soaking in that XP instead of messing around here. But he is holding up 2 players. And then we have Shadow recalling. He finally figured out his tower was taking too much damage. And he has his Time Splitter from the side shop. So might see him maybe get an extra pick here and there. But quite a weak build overall. He doesn't have a whole lot of HP. So he can be taken down by even Anthrax. And he won't be able to escape that Nitro. Alright, we have another TP here coming in with the Eunuchs, and they're looking for this Brine who does have his Parallax. He's not going to use it, and it looks like he's just going to take the death. Brilliant. Alright, and we have Kane getting chased by All Day, who's going to try to fight both of them. He does catch both of them again, but it doesn't look like he can fight the no item Kane. And it looks like he's going to eat the Nitro right here. QW, East Coast. Weird play here. Definitely would have wanted to make more of a team play there rather than fighting 3 of them. Maybe the Sanctum would have helped. Alright, we have MOBA going down. And AZB is also cooked. I don't know what he was thinking he was doing there, but he's gone. Volan's gonna escape with his life. He's got his trusty dial. And Zoro is gonna get another free mid-wave, as usual. Completely uncontested. He's heading straight to the tower. It doesn't look like anybody's gonna TP ahead of time. We have a big wave here. Who's gonna claim that? We reclaim the Sanctum here. And we're just camping this wave here, not doing much yet. We are gonna take this wave at the very least. Zoro's rotated to the jungle. It looks like Quid has found the mid wave, and Grunty's still not using mines in the river. Would have been a nice thing to check here by dropping a mine right in this spot. We do have our buffer, but it doesn't look like there's any semblance of Core Hall coming in. Are we getting any items on Desert Eagle? It doesn't look like it. Maybe he doesn't have money. The Huntress has not yet completed this item. I don't know what we're building at this point. Don't ask me. We found the Mendy. Are we going to pick up this Mendy for no reason? Or are we going to use it on the boss? It looks like we're positioning for a mid-fight. This level 20 Zoro looks like it's an easy one, so we're just going to run into him and die. Seems about right. BJ does show up. He's looking straight for Zoro. He does not care about the tank here. He's going to pick up Zoro. And the Brian looks like he's escaping, but the Punisher hits him from downtown and he goes. And it was planned. Alright, so we've got Anthrax farming a camp here. We'd want to see him maybe defend this or get ready to ult one of these bosses. Quid spilling a blue gene here. Maybe not the best timing, but he's looking around. We would probably want to see a Silver Soul out of this team. Maybe some more support items. Maybe a Hive. All Day has found the boss. He is quite weak. No Divinator, but he does have his Bloodletter. However, his build is just so weak that he can't tank it by himself. His team is going to try, but they're going to take damage. We get a little bit of extra damage on it. He is going to finish the boss, which is going to put them ahead. They should know that Aeon has spawned as well, since they were both synced in terms of bosses. So here, All Day is going to spawn the Aeon, and he's going to run straight down. That should be much easier to take. He's going to find the bear on his way, and you should be able to get rid of this in quite a few seconds. He's going to drop the knife. He's throwing down damage. Here's the Q. What are we going to do about this gem? We'll see if somebody gets it. It's in the pit. He does ping it. Residente going to head towards the gem. We'll see what he's going to drop. And BJ finds the Kane in the mid lane. I don't think Kane is going to make it out of this. He gets hit with the bear time splitter. He has no chance. And it doesn't look like there's anybody defending the mid. We really want to see the Brian here ready to defend and CC this Shadow who's going to walk out. We've got a Huntress pushing out the wave here. It looks like he took a little bit of damage, but he hasn't healed it off yet. And you really want to see a back right at this point here. You want to see a big reset and the whole team either getting this turret or this one. You kind of a push together thing, get the Sanctum set, and then get a little bit of vision in the mid lane. And so we have, once again, the Brian is under them. They have no idea for now. So he's just going to spot them, free spot checks. Not really much they can do here. Even with a scan, you would be kind of hard-pressed to find that Brian. So he's just playing that well. A lot of the top lane jungles up here. We want to push in these waves and take the jungle in the meantime. The entire blue team is bot side. Why? I don't know. The entire red team is top side for the right reason. They wanted this turret. And it looks like they're just going to get it for free. Here's a TP here. That seems very risky here. We don't have any more teammates coming in. AZB, is he going to pop? He did pop the buffer. He's walking around. His team found the teleport button. They're coming in. Zoro gets completely clapped in the mid lane by All Day, who finds him. And this actually looks quite bad, both in terms of macro and micro decisions. Got an ult on the tank here. Looks like we're going to try to kill him. He gets ulted. Good blue gene ult by AZB. His mid laner comes in and just slams down on Desert Eagle. Zoro's pinging mid. We have some mid damage on the turret. We have a TP here coming in, but that turret is gone. Squid gets Vortex. He's not going to follow up here. That could have been a kill. He is scared of the Anthrax, reliably so. The top turret's back open. It looks like Njord got him. and they're gonna get that turret for free here. The Brine's under, he pulls the Shadow, not really making that much sense yet. Probably wanted to save that vision, but he still has his ult active. Only damage on the team right now, Anthrax. He does have a full set of items, very odd itemization at this point in time. Would really want to see something a little bit more punchy, especially since Nitrogen is such a low damage item. Alright, we've got the Huntress and a Tenderizer partially completed, so we've got Hecatomb and a Tenderizer. Quite an interesting order as well here. We ideally would want to see the opposite order if we're going to go for that line of build, but ideally the Kayn build seemed like the best way to do it, with the Fang just for the range, not the full Rathion, and then you would go Cleaver. That would give you a much better damage line, and usually you want to see something like kind of a damage line out of the Huntress, so maybe a Divinator, and maybe some more attack speed. But we've got the heavy AD line here, so we'll see if he's able to use that. He does have a big range advantage, and since the level of the lobby is quite low, there's a lot of opportunities for him to get some kills, as he has earlier. Alright, we're positioning towards that bottom side turret here. We're going to try to get some damage on it. We're going to get one auto off. We're going to back off here to see what's happening. The Brine is under the red team again, and we do have scans going down. Everything's exposed. Zoro is in the front line. He does not have reset, and he does make it out. DJ gets completely deleted by the blue team. Zoro's given chase to Huntress, but he does back off correctly. Have a little bit of damage coming from Anthrax. They should really focus on some of these slower members here. Zoro gets pinned. He does not use his parallax yet. He still has it. Completely cooking the Unix here. Now he goes on the Huntress. Misses the Q, gets the ult. Cloaked, but Squid is completely exposed. Do we have any scans? We do have a scan from ACB. Great scan there, gets the Squid kill. And we're still chasing the entire team. Huntress does not have time to get autos here. It looks like he's hesitating. That's probably going to cost him his life. Kayn pops everything there. He's trying to look for this Huntress. Are we going to pull the Huntress? We are going to pull the Huntress here. She takes a lot of damage. Kayn walks forward. He's looking for that Grunty. Gets the slow. We have disassemble here. And we're looking for a Penta on Volan, who gets his stolen. Maybe that's forgivable. Alright, and we do have the wave coming up, so it looks like this tower is going to go down. We have the mid lane pushing as well. This looks completely cooked once again. And it looks like the red team had a great push going on to the top turret, but then they completely gave up here. And All Day just died by himself at the start, which led to his team to be cooked. Alright, we're going to hit that mid turret here. We're pushing up bottom side. We're looking at that turret as well. Are we going to get a buff? I believe the buff is on Zoro. Yes, the buff is on Zoro, who's hitting this. All Day coming at him. Big fight between the two. All Day is going to win that, but is he going to go down? He is going to go down, so 1-for-1 here. Still good for the blue team, who gets completely reset from base, and it doesn't look like Shadow had sufficient itemization and usage there compared to Zoro, who has his entire team for support. And we're going to see another play from the mid here. Looks like we're trying to kill this Anthrax quite healthy. He does use very good parallax there, and he's running. Doesn't look like he's going to make it here, but not enough damage, and he walks out with his life. We get both bottoms suppressors cracked, and it looks like we have stupid and racist in the chat, but it looks like everybody in this game is an idiot. You don't have to trust me, you just have to watch the game. Alright, Volan, our star player, he has not used the dial. He's going to use it now, but he is still quite in trouble, and he is not going to make it out of there. He's cooked. Alright, AZB looking around. We have the Observer going. You almost want to maybe check this spot here, because we got some free money here, some free money here. Pretty good build. Flares and scans. We can give an homage to those. Those are great items. Much better than building something like Eternal Drive or some of those other garbage mother items, maybe Lion's Bane. We're actually spotting the enemies and scanning them. And we ideally would want to see either a Parallax or Hive, a Silver Soul, or Core Hall come out of this item slot here, but we'll see what happens. The blue gene does make sense for these team fights, especially given how frantic they are. And since our Brine is not going to build Core Hall, maybe nobody will. Looking at our Brine, it looks like he found the Darksteel Titan. He doesn't like the Core Hall, maybe not good value for him, so he's going to go for the Darksteel Titan. They do get the pick on Desert Eagle, And MOBA doesn't look like he's long for this route. He's gonna go down as well. It looks like we should be going straight on this boss here, but we're gonna hesitate. Maybe the right call given that Zoro is pulling up. He does have full vision now. We're gonna ult the tank. We're vortexing. Are we gonna get him? We do get him, but now we're in full skirmish. And it's a 1v1. BJ gets the kill, and the medic is behind to heal. So it looks like we're getting another free boss here. The red team has full tempo once again. Zoro just running in by himself. Dying there doesn't do his team any favors. We have a blue gene and a heart. Huntress takes both of them. I would have wanted to see the blue gene on the medic or the shadow. It would have been great on either of them, but it doesn't happen. We've got the whole red team here. We do know that the Aeon is up since the bosses are synced, and it looks like we've got half the team here. This is not going to happen unless one of the damage carries pulls up. We'll see if the Huntress comes out, but he's going to clear this wave first. Quite a fast clear here. He does have the cleaver. Unfortunate that he wasted money on Shard of Ruin, but it is the recommended in the shop. What can you do? Alright, and we've got Shadow here. He's going to fight the Kane. He did not pop Tetra. He's going to take a little bit of punishment here. He's going in. He's popping Tetra now. Kane dials out, and it looks like he's not going to be able to get much more. He should walk out here, but he does get the help from the Eunuchs. And a good pickup from both of them. The medic full heals here. This is quite the good play, and we're looking for the eggs now. Zoro's still not up. So the red team has free reign here. We did not take the Aeon for the gem, which would have been quite helpful. We're trying to tempo on this base here, get a little bit of damage. This could be extremely risky with no Tetra up. We just walk in through the Anthrax and just die here. Quite a bad look. And it doesn't look like Huntress is interested in the Aeon as well. So maybe we'll give that over to the blue team. We do find the wave now, but farming jungle camps at this stage while the wave is pushing seems interesting. We're gonna rotate towards Aeon here without pushing the wave. And we did find Zoro up here with the Mandy. That's going to be quite hard to deal with. Squid is going to go down. We do get the ultimate on Zoro, and Huntress is hitting, but he is not hitting quite as fast as he would like to. But he does get the kill overall. Full HP here. We can probably deal with this Coral-less grind. He doesn't really have much going on. He does pop. He's electric mental. MOBA is not going to go down. We could get this grind here. One more hit there. He does. And both of these guys are on the run. Do we want to get more chase going on? He does hit the pin here, and that one goes down as well. This Hunter is doing some big pulls here. Good rotation. This web will need to be caught by somebody. We walk straight past, go for the Sanctum. Decent grouping here. Are we going to take the Aeon? It doesn't look like Shadow is interested. I don't know where he's going. Maybe he's trying to get this wave here and keep the pressure up. Huntress is going to find the Aeon route. He's headed over there now. Shadow fighting the Kane. Not the best target. He takes quite a bit of damage. He'll need to find his medic for some wave for HP. We pick up the Aeon, but leave the gem in there. We're not going to pop it yet. We do drop the machete. We grab the gem. So now we have the playmaking on this Nexus, and there's not much damage on the red team. Shadow getting ticked off. He's going to pop it. He's Tetra, try to hit Kane. Kane runs out again. Signature move. Good play from him. And it looks like it's another wave delay. We have the gem going. The wave is not there yet. Maybe he was premature. Shadow taking a lot of punishment, but he's still alive. Zoro is back up with his item. He has a DST, and he's gonna get a free kill on Quid, who does not know where he is. Shadow did not get a heal from the medic, so he's just gonna run in with no HP. He's gonna die. Residente ulting Volant instead of Zoro. That's a classic move. We're gonna warp shard away after ulting. Huntress looking for a target here. He doesn't know if he wants to go in. He's gonna hit a little bit on Zoro, who gets buffered. And Residente should know that Squid has been carrying scans because they're in his inventory, but he forgot. And Huntress is going to try to make a run for it. He does have 2 move speed items. Is that going to be enough to get him out of the situation? He is out of range, so as long as he runs in a straight line, he will barely push, but he tries to pop Zoro, who has these parallax. And that was not a great trade at all. It looks like the red team has thrown the game once again. I can't count how many times it's been. Lots of Sanctums and gems available to pick up. That top wave can be pushed, and the bottom wave is going to be pushed by Zoro, who's on his way. Interesting build from him. We see the cauterizer for the medic, but that doesn't work on medic ult, so weird stuff. Maybe he'll find out maybe later on that it doesn't work. Kayn, kind of a better build here. We ideally want to see maybe a cleaver and a Fang from him just for the range without getting the full Rathion, but this build will do quite well for the time being. And Mobalytic has found his Gravity's Edge, so he just needs to upgrade it. He's also finished all of these other items, so quite a nice rounded build. Would maybe want to see a chilling here. Looks like Squid has ran it down once more and died to Zoro. It's almost poetic how many times he just dies to Zoro for free. Maybe he could not find his Coral in the shop, or maybe he just didn't know where he was. Alright, and BJ, it looks like he's positioning for another 1v5 here. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go on Swollen and get him. And now he's looking at Fudge. Nope, he's switching back. And by Fudge, I mean AZB. He's doing a little bit of target switching here. He's switching back again onto Zoro. He almost had it. He's gonna give chase here, but Zoro does have to speed up. Ideally want to switch target. Residente is gonna blink in and try to use ult, but he misses. He does get the finish here, which is another swing for the blue team throwing, and the red team is back to winning again. Residente is going to give chase here. He's looking for AZB, who is recalling. There's no way to interrupt that, so he's just going to get out. And we're pushing the mid wave here. We have all our damage items. We're looking for suppressors. The mid suppressor is still down. The bottom turret completely open. That one is not going to get touched for a while with that wave pushing all the way out. Top turret, more possible. Usually that would be where they would want to go. Desert Eagle is not dropping mines. He's had swamp traps the entire game. Doesn't have time for that. He's gonna go in and hit a little bit on the tank, and that was a great play. We're looking for the top turret here. This is gonna be really hard to push through with the Anthrax up. Even with the Tetra play, Shadow would have a hard time with this. You ideally want to see him TP to the bot side, which there's no TP location to, and push out this wave here, going all the way up to this turret, picking up this turret. That would be his best play here, but it looks like he's stuck thinking about the top side. He's gonna hit another one of those bong hits, and he's gonna try to fight this tank. Interesting. Residente pulls up. He does pop the parallax here. You could see a pick on this tank here. Not the best target, but a tank pick is a pick. And Shadow is gonna see the CC here. He's gonna hit his damage. He's gonna not pop Tetra. He's gonna hit it. He did pop Tetra. He's trying to walk out. He's getting healed by the medic. The medic does have the coral and the buffer, but it's not enough. He should have dialed him instead. And Shadow gets picked off again. Residente's got his wormhole. His ultimate's about half. We have a Huntress trying to find his wave here. What did we pick up? It doesn't look like we picked up anything new. Would ideally want to see. He does have the gem right here. And we know, like, listen. Team won't listen. It looks like BJ is not playing his best, and he's getting quite frustrated here. Maybe with some better play and some better team play, they would be able to close out this game, but it doesn't look like they're able to vanquish these turrets. The turrets seem to be too strong. Got another fungal from Residente, who's looking for a play on Zoro. Zoro's walking in by himself against the entire other team. He should really wait for his Volan tank to come through first. And Moba is going to take a lot of damage, but Huntress just walks in with absolutely no defense, gets picked off for free. Residente is still throwing stuff in the river. He does not have anything else, and it looks like he just needs to run. He's Wormhole's disabled, Wormhole's back hold, but we're just going to take the damage. He gets healed by Medic, who saves him, but now Medic is exposed. We are ulting on Zoro. We good damage going through, but it's not enough. We're going to run away here. Kayn looking for damage up here. Residente is still getting chased, so we're going to clean him up. Alright, and Squid is running back into the enemy team once again with absolutely no damage. It looks like he's looking for Kayn, but I think Kayn is looking for him. Kayn popping one drop of missile ult here, but it's not going to be enough. Squid is going to run out. All day looking for another play. He pops the Tetra here. He's hitting the tank. It's not working out. We're going to back out. And he has an okay build, but it's not very strong against this team. Really want to see something like an FOE or a Crux to disable Zora, but he does not have it, so he's just going to walk out and try to use his Time Splitter. Alright, big wave coming through. All day eats everything. Just walks into the entire enemy team. Desert does not have much for him. He's gonna cloak around and throw one last Punisher rocket, and it looks like that's the game. Alright, and here's our final scoreboard here. We can see quite a lot of 35-minute Shinobis from the red team. Maybe should have gotten these closer to the first item mark. And we have these time splitters here once again. Time splitter, not bad early on, but ideally want to switch to more of a Crux build, as it will give you quite a bit of spell resist, very useful against strong mages, which are present in the team. And then much better disable that's ranged. So same thing with the cauterizers. Cauterizers not bad, but I believe both of these support ults completely negate healing reduction. So these don't even work properly as intended by the players. So it would have been better to just build more damage, and then Crux would have disabled those characters. So Cauterizer, great on paper, doesn't work in practice for the exact reason that the ult that is healing ignores healing reduction. So maybe these players can read the items, or maybe the developer can make some notes. Great game by Voland, who, despite being one of the weaker players in this lobby, puts out a great performance, really good dial use, decent Tetra use as well. You can see that he tanked quite a bit. He actually almost outperformed the task of tanking from Pocahontas, who still did not have Core Hall, and it doesn't look like he really understands the damage stats coming out of the other team, because he focused more on spell resist and armor. Zoro was quite lost for most of the game, through the game multiple times at a pretty low play level, so it looks like he's still struggling to understand most of the macro decisions going on in the game. He did find his armor item, so good on him for that. The Cauterizer given a little bit as well. Not too bad of an itemization here. Could see a Tetra in the mix, but the Parallax does hold on pretty well. AZB, pretty good item choices. The scans and flares are definitely quite good. Parallax, probably not necessary for him since everybody else has one. Maybe it's because they don't know how to use them, but could have seen maybe a Hive here for those team fights, or a Core Hall would have been appreciated since the other tank did not find it in his shop. Same thing for Mobaholics, quite a good performance, some very good ults. It looks like he could place his W a little bit better and maybe cut out those shadow melee attacks, but overall quite decent. The Kaidarian and Nitrogen item loadout is quite expensive, same thing with the Ancient Rune. That is a good item pickup for this game specifically, but same thing, the Medic ult oftentimes does not work, so it's a good pickup, but not a priority as of usually, so would have liked to see maybe less prio on the other items, and then maybe finish out the Argus, then go to the Ancient Rune. But overall respectable, just very expensive build path. Squid did end up getting his Coral and Spell Buffer, but I believe this came in way past 40 minutes, so when those items are less effective overall. Would have liked to see less components early and more filled items, and then we can build things like Scavengers after we've got at least one of our major support items. Residente lost most of the game here. He didn't really have a proper target. He did go for the tanks at some times, which is fine if you don't have any other targets, but with a build this complete, you should be able to kind of pick and choose your targets, blink on them, kind of get a full ult, maybe ping them so that your team can follow up. It didn't look like he was really doing that. His play seemed relatively scattered, so despite the big numbers here, the overall performance was a bit more dubious. All day looked like he had the right idea, but kind of got lost a few times, tried to fight Zoro. I don't know if they're having ego battles, but the ego battles never ended well for either of them, so it looks like they should be picking out their fights a bit better, or maybe fighting less and looking for more waves. Quite a decent CS score overall, but could have seen maybe some item changes, maybe a Crux here, and maybe a little bit more bulk, maybe a Parallax to get out of CC. That would have definitely helped him tremendously. Could have even maybe seen a Retribution's Edge or a Darksteel Titan for those duels, since there's no Coral on these team until like the very end of the game. Mjord, a good performance overall. Could skip the full Rathion for just the range. Time Splitter could be replaced with maybe a Crux, just to give him a little bit more viability. And Desert Eagle was mostly just providing vision this game. Didn't look like he knew where he was either. Kind of led to this, what looked like a coin flip game back and forth, but really this team did not have the resources to push in terms of macro knowledge, and it looked like they were just throwing their heads at the tower, while this team understood how to group and fight, but once they did, somebody was running in there and just dying for free, and it was more of a who can die the most and leave his team behind, and the winner for that was Squid, who ended up just running at the other team more than anybody else. All right, that's it for the review. Thanks to AZB for submitting this replay, and we did see some good plays from him and Volan, so hopefully we'll see more of these, and we can see some improvements from the other players as well who were featured.